Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Glad everyone could make it here today. My name is Alyssa Stone, and today I'm going to be going over the American Lighting Linear Lighting Collection. So I know what you're thinking. Hey, Alyssa, we've talked about tape light for the past 2 weeks. What are you talking about linear lighting? So today I'm going to be focusing on everything that is linear outside of that traditional tape light category. So there's plenty of products that we sell that are sold kind of by the foot or measured on plans by the foot that are kind of outside of traditional tape light. So I want to go over some of those options with you today. I am in a brand new venue outside of just our regular old offices. I am in our recently remodeled showroom. Here in Denver, Colorado. So I have some fresh new displays to show you so I can really get my point across on these linear lighting items. So with that, I'm going to start out with a really popular item here that we've been selling for a really long time. And these are commercial grade light strings that we have right here. Now, commercial grade light strings, they have a lot of different things that they could be called. I've seen them called commercial grade stringers, festoon stringers, bistro lighting. There's all sorts of things that you can call string lights like this. So most popular is going to be an E26 base stringer, which we have right here and right here. Now the difference between this top stringer and this stringer is that this one has a suspended socket, or it has a 2-inch drop from the actual cord itself. And this one is tight, nice and tight to the cord, no drop at all. So for our E26 base stringers, they are going to come in a 2-foot on center, so 24-inch socket spacing. And you get to pick what bulb you would like to go inside of that stringer. So one of our most popular bulbs that we offer is that PS14. I've been selling that for a really long time. This guy looks like that traditional teardrop shape. But we also have globe lamps as well. So you just twist that right into the socket there. Now we sell these commercial grade stringers in 3 different sizes or lengths. We have them in interconnectable 48 footers, which means that you can plug them in end to end and keep going. We have them in 100-foot stringers and 330-foot stringers. Now the 100-foot and the 330-footers are not interconnectable. Only the 48-footers are. That being said, the 48-footers are also the only stringer that has a third-party listing, which is important. Because if you're going to have an inspector come through and look for a TUV flag, that means that it's been third-party listed. We want to use those interconnectable 48-footers on our project. Now, if we're using the 100-footer, 330-footer, and they're not going to be listed, we do have a little bit of options for customization, which means we could cut it, restart it, make smaller space stringers. Because keep in mind, these are 120 volt. So cutting them in the field, restarting them, any in-field modification is going to void a third-party listing. So you don't necessarily want to cut up those 48 footers like you would the 100 and 330 footers if a listing and an inspection is going to be important for a project. So when you're ordering, you're going to order your stringer. You're going to order the bulb of your choosing, and we have a ton to choose from. And then you're also going to order catenary cable, which can also be called aircraft support cable. And that aircraft support cable is really important if you're going to have runs that are longer than 20 feet. This stuff is heavy. Even a 48-foot coil wrapped around your arm is quite the weight, and that's without bulbs in it. So you're going to want something to help hold up that weight, especially if something's going to be suspended in the air above where you're walking or living or eating dinner, if you have to stay outside in your backyard. So you want that catenary cable to be there to support the weight of this heavy stringer. And that's actually what you're going to install first when you're installing a commercial grade light string system. So you're going to install your catenary cable, make it nice and tight, and then you'll come through with your stringers. And believe it or not, the most common installation practice is to take a zip tie and zip tie to the left and to the right of that socket to hold it into place nice and tight to that catenary cable. That also gives you the ability to do some swag. If you'd like to have drops in your stringers as well. You're still going to use a zip tie, believe it or not. So another thing that I just wanted to touch on real quick is a lot of times if you're doing new construction projects, particularly for commercial business, if you're looking at a fixture schedule and you see that there's a stringer somewhere on that fixture schedule and it says supplied by owner, a lot of times what that owner is going to do, and no offense, I would do the exact same thing, they're going to go to Costco, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, what have you, and go and get a stringer from there. You know, why would they pay for a commercially rated stringer when they can get something for a fraction of the price that's going to look essentially the same to the untrained eye? And unfortunately, everything that you're going to get from those big box stores are rated as temporary lighting. They cannot be installed permanently. So I see it a lot where they install those temporary stringers and an inspector comes through and says, hey, those got to come down. They're not rated for permanent year-round use. What is? These commercial grade stringers. So you're always going to want to use these on commercial projects. I always make the suggestion when I'm looking through luminaire schedules and I see supplied by owner on that fixture schedule. So just a little tip for you guys to keep in mind. So I also have some other stringers down here that you can kind of see. I'll see if I can just move this down just a little skosh. There we go. So down here, I have some specialty stringers. This guy right here is going to be an intermediate base stringer, so an E17 base. It's only sold in a 330 footer, and it has a 15-inch socket spacing. Now down here, this little baby is also sold in 330 footers. That's our candelabra, our E12 base stringer, 330 foot reels. And they take just that smaller little lamp size. So you can do the little candelabra base in the E12 stringer. Great for the holiday season. Okay, so I think that about covers it for light strings. Again, super popular product. Just keep these in mind when you're doing kind of any outdoor space. As you know, the joke that I always make is in the year 2023, it's against code to open up a new commercial restaurant space, hotel, lounge, what have you, without having some sort of stringer because they're so popular. All right, folks, let's move it on down. I'm just going to pick you up and move you to this part of the showroom. Bingo. Move this chair out of the way for you. All right, so let's look at some other linear lighting options. And I'm going to start with hybrid, I think. We'll start with hybrid 3, which is going to be right here. Turn that off, not distract you. So hybrid 3 is going to be a line voltage tape light, more or less. So how we got the name hybrid is it's kind of a hybrid between rope light that we've sold for a really long time and tape light. So much like tape light, it's nice and bright. Hybrid 3 is offered in 2 different lumen outputs. The standard is going to get you about 300 lumens per foot. The high output is going to be sitting around 500 lumens per foot. So nice and bright like a tape light. But much like a rope light, this guy is going to give you nice long run lights. It's a 120 volt system. So you're not dropping power supplies every 20, 30 feet or so. Because you can plug this fixture in or hardwire it and go up to 150 feet. Now, if you're looking at our catalog, it's going to say 75-foot max run. And that is just for best practice for installation. Again, this fixture is very heavy. If you have a 1 or 2 man installation crew and you have just a couple folks putting it in, you're going to have a lot of weight from the rest of that reel just hanging down. And unfortunately, if you have, say, 30 pounds of fixture hanging, not installed into a channel, there's a chance that internal wiring can break. Which is why we recommend keeping it to 75 feet or having a 4+ man crew if you're going to be installing for a longer 100+ foot run. So just keep that in mind. Now, hybrid 3 is going to be offered in 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 K. Again, up to 500 lumens per foot, and we sell it in 2 different styles. You can order this in a 150-foot bulk reel, or you can have it custom cut here in Denver. Now, the reason why we offer a custom cut, it's important to note that while it seems like the perfect fixture, because it's nice and bright, you don't have any drivers, there's got to be a reason why everyone doesn't just go with a hybrid 3. Why wouldn't we just do something we can always just plug in our hardwire and not do a driver with? Nice long runs, nice and bright, indoor and outdoor rated. The problem is that it's line voltage. And I'm going to take you back to the commercial grade light string that I was previously talking about. It's line voltage. There's no field modification. Field modifying a line voltage fixture would take away your warranty, would take away any third-party listings, ETL, UL, TUV, what have you. You can't field modify a line voltage fixture. So that's why we offer this in a 150-foot bulk reel, or we will custom cut it for you here in Denver, because we are a ETL factory, of course. So with that, you would just get us how long of a luminaire you'd like, and if you'd like a plug feed or a bare lead feed, depending on if you want to plug it in or hardwire it, and we will just make it here for you. We do a nice UV cure process to make sure that it stays IP65 rated, so if you want to install it outdoors or in a wet location, you can do just that. Now here, I'm going to turn this off real quick. If we're looking here, this looks like a nice diffused fixture, but I did just want to show you that this is just a lens that's over a piece of hybrid here. So it does, if you can see the fixture above it, it is just a linear kind of tape light-ish fixture that is flexible once you get it out of that channel. The channel is just there to diffuse out those visible diodes. Okay, so that's regular hybrid 3. Right up above that is going to be hybrid 3 warm dim. Now, warm dim technology, real quick, before I show you this fixture, warm dim technology was made to kind of mimic the old school kind of incandescent bulb. So when things moved to LED, a lot of hospitality locations like bars, restaurants, nightclubs, it was their first day after their big lighting retrofit, and they went to go dim the lights down, set the mood for the evening, and 911 emergency, these lights are broken because they're not dimming. They're not doing what my last lighting option did, which their last lighting option was made out of incandescent bulbs. When they dimmed it, it also was reducing in lumen output, but also shifting in color temperature. So that old school incandescent bulb also, while being dimmed, tended to warm up to that nice cozy glow. And so when we moved to LED, they were dimming things down, and while it was reducing in lumen output, it wasn't shifting to that warmer color temperature. But don't worry, the technology is finally here where we can now, with just a standard dimmer, no controls, that's important, we can now shift to that warmer color temperature. So warm dim hybrid 3 is going to start at 3000K. And as it's dimmed with just a standard wall dimmer, again, no receiver, no controller, it's going to shift to that 1800K in addition to reducing in lumen output. So it's going to give you that old school incandescent, cozy, warm glow about it. Now it's hybrid, so it is line voltage. We still have that nice long run. This guy's going to be 4 watts per foot and about 200 lumens per foot. As you know, the warmer color temperature we get to, the closer we get to 1800K, obviously that lumen output is going to decrease. But at that 3000K top brightness, we're sitting at 200 lumens per foot. So let's dim that down real quick so you can see how that shifts. You guys see how that's really warming up into that 1800K? Lord knows if a laptop really grasps onto shifting color temperature changes, but bringing it back up to 3000 and bringing it back down to that low 1800K up there. And I apologize if the laptop monitor doesn't really grab that as well as it should, but that is hybrid warm dim. Now the next item that I want to show you is, once again, another hybrid, and it's hybrid RGBW, which means that we have a line voltage RGBW fixture. As far as I know, it's one of the first on the market to have such a nice long run. And I actually have a piece right here so you can see it a little bit closer. So I wanted you to really see what it looks like inside of that fixture behind the jacket. So you have a double row of RGB chips and 3000K chips, all side by side. And this is just a 3-foot sample piece. We do have these 3-foot sample pieces pre-made if you'd like a piece. Like always, we're super flexible with samples. Just feel free to reach out. But let me see if I can just turn this on for you guys. So got it on red here, green, blue, purple, just white 3000K. And this is just a little sample controller. Of course, it has all the flexibility to do every color of the rainbow, just like any other Trulux or American Lighting RGB SKU. I just wanted to show you that this guy is color changing. Again, like any other hybrid, we have it in a 150-foot bulk reel, or we can also custom cut it for you. So this guy's going to be cuttable every foot, so every 12 inches. So if you say that you want a 30-foot run, great. If you want a 60-foot run, great. We'll cut it for you in Denver, UV cure it, seal it up, send it out. Now with that, we're really limited in controls for Hybrid 3 RGBW. We really only have 2 options, and one isn't my favorite because this is honesty hour. The first is going to be a DMX control. Good. That's what you want to go with, because let's be honest, a lot of times this product is going to be made for commercial applications. I'm not seeing a lot of residences that are bringing in super long run RGBW hybrid. Usually a lot of residences are keeping their RGBW fairly limited to certain rooms of the house. But for a large scale installation, a commercial installation, maybe the exterior of a residence, DMX is really what we want to do for controls. It's a hardwired control system. It's data cable carrying a signal. So we can go nice long runs with how far we can carry that signal. The second option is going to be a radio frequency control option, which I don't love for such a robust fixture like this. We're limited between the receiver and the handheld controller. We're limited to about 45 feet. So if you're outside of that 45 feet from your controller to your receiver, radio frequency is going to putter out. It can only carry wirelessly so far. Now, if you're going to mount the receiver right in a mechanical room and keep the controller right there, great. Radio frequency will work fine just for you. But again, for a lot of these installations for RGBW Hybrid 3, I do love the DMX control system. We can make that DMX control system as simple or complex as we'd like. Something as simple as a wall mount controller with a nice little RGB wheel on it, to something that we custom program for you in-house. DMX doesn't have to be scary, ladies and gentlemen, and we will get to more DMX training in these Monday series. Okay, let's see. What else do I have for you today? I made a list. Commercial stringer, warm dim Hybrid 3, RGBW Hybrid 3, channel rays. Okay. This item's kind of a sleeper, but when we get projects for it, it tends to be large item or a large quantity. So these are channel rays. And a question that I get a lot and why we brought this product out is back when I did a lot more quotes than I do now, I would get, hey, can you put together a bill of material? We're backlighting a sign for a business. Can you do it with outdoor rated tape? And it's a lot to do with outdoor rated tape, because with a lot of times with signs, we have 2 types of signs for the most part. The first is going to be a nice linear sign that's like 6 feet long and maybe 3 feet tall. And a lot of times they have T8 tubes inside of them, backlighting that signage. And can we do it with tape light? Sure. We would do a 6-foot run, a 6-foot run, a 6-foot run, a 6-foot run, all tied back to the same power supply. But with IP65 tape, we have to keep in mind that you have 2 IP65 rated connectors on a roll of tape, like Jennifer taught us a couple weeks ago. So you're going to have 6 foot off the front of the roll and 6 feet off the end of the roll. And then we're going to have 4 feet of waste in the middle that we can't really use because if we put a connector on it, we'd be voiding the IP65 rating. This is going to be installed outdoors. It's just kind of a pain in the buns, if I'm being honest. Even bigger pain in the buns is when we get the request to backlight letters. That's the second type of sign. When you get into these big commercial spaces for grocery stores, retail spaces, things like that, and they want to backlight a letter, a lot of times tape light is, I'll be honest with you, the worst solution possible for applications like that. Because let's keep in mind that tape light, if we're looking at it head on with the diodes like this, we can bend it forward and away, but no left or right. So if we're making an R, there's no way for me to bend that around without potentially cracking that internal wiring. Now, we could wrap it around the outside of the R to come in on itself, but that is, again, a huge pain in the buns. I don't recommend it. And I don't wish that on any installer. So we had to come up with a solution that was great for backlighting signage. And that's where channel rays come in. Now, if I want to backlight a letter, if I want to backlight an S, I take my rays here, I separate them, and now I can kind of twist them around to make a particular letter behind that acrylic or whatever we're backlighting in that signage. So these are going to be up to 220 lumens per module. And they're going to have about 5 inches of cord between these modules, so you can make them as far apart or as close together as you'd like. They're going to come in 3,000 and 6,000 K. We have them in these 4 module bits that are more of a square, and then we have them in 3 modules that are more of a long rectangular shape and super fun. We also have them in RGBW. So now if we have a nice white acrylic on a sign, we can backlight with RGBW and get it to color change, which is very attention grabbing for signage, very unique. These are going to be low voltage. They need a power supply just like tape. And they're offered in 3,000K and 6,000K. 6,000K, by the way, is the most popular color temperature for backlighting signage. So if you're ever unsure of what to go with, unless they explicitly say that they want a warm, cozy sign, give them the 6K. It's nice and bright, and it reflects colors really well by backlighting. Okay. By the way, while I'm thinking of it, let's say that we are doing a letter, we're doing a M and then an A. If to do our M, we only need this many modules from here, we can cut right in the middle, terminate this end, and then this can actually be the start of a new letter. So it's cuttable anywhere on this wire and reusable, just wire it back to the same power supply. So it's not a one cut and done fixture. And they are IP65 rated as well, so you can install them outdoors. No problem. Okay. 2 more things, and then I'm going to let you go. Wow, this might be our longest one yet. The first one that I want to show you is actually right back here. This is going to be Scenic Flex. So Scenic Flex, nice and bright, right? Scenic Flex, I'm actually going to take you a little bit closer. I know this is going to be silly taking you on a trip here, but I just want you to see this fixture a little bit closer because I want you to see why we call this guy the Scenic Flex right here. We call this guy the octopus light, squid light. It's because it looks like it has little suction cup tentacles. But really what that is an optic that we build over that tape light. So Scenic Flex is what we call in-house wall washer tape. And really why we came out with it is because a lot of times, we had applications where we're trying to wall wash or wall graze with tape light, and we put up HTLWW, just high output, and that light only went up about 18 inches. I wanted a little bit more. So we rip it out and we put up Vega, 7 watts per foot, 1,100 lumens per foot, and it's still only going up about 18, 20 inches. It's just more vibrant, reflecting against the wall. It's just more light. And that's because there's no optic built over the LEDs on that tape light. And that's what Scenic Flex brings to the picture. So essentially we take a nice optic, put it over that LED, and now that LED can reach a little bit higher. It can throw the light a little bit farther than traditional tape light, so you can do some wall washing or wall grazing. We have it in 3000K and 4000K, also RGBW. It's 5.8 watts per foot. It's cuttable every foot. And we have it in a 30 degree and a 15 by 50 degree, depending on if you want wall wash or wall graze. The thing about Scenic Flex is that we only sell it in custom cuts. So you have to tell us exactly how many feet you need. We'll cut it for you right here in Denver. And one of my favorite questions that we get on this product is, do you have a diffused lens for it? No, we don't have a diffused lens for it because you paid for a beautiful optic to shoot light as far as it will go. So that's why we have that clear lens over that track. So Scenic Flex, it's something that came out about 6 months ago, has really taken off. Very popular product. If you need, again, any samples of that, we're happy to send you that as well. Okay. Now the last thing that I want to talk to you about is actually right here on the bottom. It's that Neon Flex Pro V. So I'm just going to turn that one on next so you can kind of see what that looks like. Right down here, I'm going to turn it on for you and bring it up to full brightness. There we go. So Neon Flex is a nice diffused light source. And I'm going to turn it off real quick and take you on another adventure with me so you can see kind of what that fixture looks like when it's not illuminated. So we have no visible dotting on that fixture, just that clean, even, nice, smooth line of light. I'll turn it back on here for you. No dotting, no spotting, no hot spots, and it's nice and flexible. Turn it back off and put you guys back down. There we go. Put you down here. So nice flexible fixture. I'm just going to take a little bit out of the channel here so you can see that this fixture bends forward and back like a regular tape light. It is very flexible. And this is Pro V, which means it's a vertical bend. It bends up and down, or if you have the diodes facing you, it bends towards you or away from you, like that hybrid I just showed you. We also have Neon Flex Pro L. That's a lateral bend, so it can bend left or right. Now, how I kind of explain that, because vertical, lateral, does that mean as much to you as it does to me? I can't really tell the difference between the two. So how I describe it is Neon Flex Pro V is a top bend fixture, and it bends how a dolphin swims, and the light is coming out of the dolphin's back. Now, Neon Flex Pro L bends like how a snake slithers, and again, the light is coming out of the snake's back. So depending on how you need that fixture to bend would guide which Neon Flex you need. Now, Neon Flex is offered in 27, 3, and 4000K, static red, static blue, static green, and RGBW color changing. Again, we'll custom cut it for you in-house if you'd like. Otherwise, you can buy a 100-foot bulk reel. It does not void warranty or ETL listing if you cut it in the field because it is a low voltage fixture. However, and this is just me talking to friends here, the connector is a real pain in the buns. You might want us to custom cut it for you. Is it impossible? No. Are they going to have to prefab it in the shop and have someone sit there and really get good at it? Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's about a 10-minute connector. It's a great connector, keeps water out, keeps it nice and sealed, but it can be tricky if it's your first time, which is why a lot of people that go with Neon Flex choose to have us custom cut it for them. In addition, we'll do some extra sealing, making sure that water is not going to get in. And those guys back there that custom cut this product, they've got it down to a 5-minute connector. They've really nailed it. So for the static colors, whether it be 27, 3, 4000K, red, green, blue, it has a 55.5-foot max run, which is great for a low voltage fixture. The RGBW is still sitting at a 16.4 foot. As always, we're always trying to improve technology, make sure we can get nice longer runs for you guys. So stay tuned on that, but Neon Flex Pro, super popular. That fixture goes hand over fist. It's great for building accent. It's also good for hot summers, cold winters. It's sun resistant, salt water resistant, heat resistant. just an all in all great fixture. So if you have any applications, feel free to reach out. If you have any applications for any of this product or any of those commercial grade light strings, the fine folks here on my technical support and quotes teams are happy to help you put it together. I know sometimes when we get into products like this, it's just like, ooh, that's a lot of parts and pieces, even outside of tape light. Let us take care of it for you. Tell us what you want. We'll give you that bill of material. We can do takeoffs for you, renderings, get you samples, everything that you need to help you sell that job. Again, my name's Alyssa. You can reach out to the sales team at sales@americanlighting.com. I appreciate you guys being here on a Monday. Have a great week. Give me a call if you need anything. See ya.